I'm Anth. I just did the GMTK Game Jam. Theme was Roll of the Dice. It was pretty sick. My first ever game jam. Let me tell you about it. So, dice. Immediately, my mind springs to some game mechanics based around randomness, but RNG has always been such a frustrating element of so many different games. So, I turned my attention to controlling the odds. So, in a half-asleep haze, my brain came up with this weird-ass idea where you play as a little robot inside of a dice, rolling it over from the inside to help some guy cheat at gambling as he yells hints at the numbers he's betting on out. This would also include obstacles within the actual dice that you as the player would have to avoid, essentially making a bit of a level within a level. And thus, the work began. That is, after a good couple of hours of falling back asleep and watching YouTube videos by the dude who runs the jam.
Well done, jackass.
Rude! Anyways, let's get to it. Day one. So, here is the first sketch of the game idea. Pretty great, right? After that, I got right into Unity and got going on the flight controls. Just stole some code from my other game and flipped around some variables. I am a fucking genius without understanding any of the math behind it. Get fucked, Mr. Switek. And I got it working right off the bat with zero issues. Just like the rest of the jam. Aw, so cute. Look how happy I am getting a pill to rotate around a fucking circle. And after all that, I entrapped that little guy inside of a prison from which he will never know freedom. Then added some little instant death balls to keep him company. And then the rest of the day was pretty much just spent on art. I worked out a character design for the little flying guy and put together a logo for the menu and the itch page. And not a single one of you better mention the goddamn space between the S and the B. And yeah, that's about all that I did on the first day. With about 80% of the game incomplete. I just went to sleep. I just went to bed. Tomorrow's sure gonna be fun. Once again, as is typical of me at this point, I woke up firmly in the afternoon, and once again, I just sat around continuing to watch videos for hours and hours without doing a single lick of work with 24 hours left on the clock. But then, finally, after much willpower, finally, we got back to work. So, at this point, I did not have a dialogue system, I did not have a timer system, I did not have level management, I didn't have levels at all, and I didn't even know how to figure out which side the die was on. But, despite all of this, all that I decided to work on for hours and hours and hours was art. I got the dice sprited up, I got the platforms in the game sprited up, got everything working in engine, including the main character, and got everything looking consistent. And, I mean, to be fair, I thought it looked pretty nice. I was pretty happy with the look of the game at this point, but at this point it really was just time to get down to the nitty-gritty and really work on programming some of those game systems. I spent almost 2 hours trying to get these goddamn fog particles to work. But that's okay, because right after we got that done, it was just about time to get down to the nitty-gritty and really get going on some goddamn Unity C# program. I decided to work on UI and menus. This fucking idiot decided to work on UI and menu. But finally, we got to programming. And as you can see, all of this late night programming approaching sunrise had me feeling absolutely great from all the work past me left behind. But hey, thanks to this wonderful Danish man, shout out to the goat brackies, I was finally able to get a dialogue system in place, a timer system in place, a win and lose state, and was finally able to start making some content. And after everything I'd learned in the past chunk of hours, I was actually able to put together like a really useful and helpful system for building up levels. Pretty much, just by inputting text into these dialogue fields and numbers into these integer fields for the timers, I was able to create levels like it was nothing. And using this super robust level system that I'd created, I was able to very quickly, over the course of an hour, make 4 really shitty levels that I basically just threw random numbers in and went basically untested because we were running out of time. And then, finally, the game was done. I did some last-minute testing to make sure that everything worked decently enough, built, and then uploaded to itch about an hour and a half before the deadline. And I'm very glad that I submitted early, because then I was able to watch the chaos of last-minute uploaders trying desperately to get their game projects in and completely destroying itch.io's web infrastructure. And then I fell asleep around noon to the peace of watching the chaos of the Fs scroll down in the GMTK Discord as itch.io's servers shit themselves once again. So, how was my first jam? Did I do well? Did people like the game? Did I somehow manage to get in the top 100 rated games of the biggest game jam on itch.io on my first try? Well, no. Honestly, in my opinion, the game's pretty shit. It's way too hard. It's super unfair. The levels had barely any thought put into them. I didn't have enough time to really do any tweaking to the physics or the player movement to really make the game feel right. And it just overall turned out to be a really jank product that was way more difficult than it needed to be. But hey, besides all this funny business that has been going on the past couple minutes, I'm honestly beyond okay with that. And even with the game's many flaws, I'm still really proud of it. And it has invigorated me even more than before to continue on this journey of game development. Because this is the first Unity game that I've ever properly released. And it was probably one of the most fun and most rapid learning experiences that I've ever had in my time with game development. So, truly, thank you to Mark and his entire team for putting on such an incredible event, and thank you so much to all of the people who have given me the critique and feedback that I need to move forward as a game designer and developer. I truly have no idea how far behind I could have been in the future if I didn't have such amazing experiences like these to help me grow so early on. But, just so we don't end on a sappy note, there is one fantastic review that I must share with you all. This game is trash. It said Snake Eyes and it was a 2. I had to buy a new monitor from Shit Controls. Holy shit! World 4 is a joke of a world. It's so easy Z. Like, what the fuck? XDDD, XDD. I kinda like it though. I hold world record on speedrun. I'm so fast. OMG. Watch so quick. XDDD. But anyways, if you'd like to play the game for yourself, you can find the link to it in the description down below. And if you're watching this before the end of the jam, I would much appreciate it if you can give it a comment or a rate. Anyways, have a good one.